Every year on my channel, I have this tradition where I come back at the end of the year and I revisit the best of beauty from last year. Basically, can I produce the items again? Do I still have them in my collection? Have I used them up? Have I replaced them? Have I decluttered them? Just kind of talking about, are these still favorites? Because this is surely the time where you are gonna be starting to see a lot of like best of beauty videos on your timeline. And I kind of just want to do a little bit of a throwback, talking about the things that I was hyping last year, talking about the things that I said I loved last year. Did they stand the test of time? Do I still love them a year later? And I will say, I picked out all the products. I have them here in front of me. And you know what I thought when I picked out all these products? Dang, these are a lot of products. Did I really have that many favorites? And now that I look at them, I still love all of these products, but I don't reach for them that much. And I think me pulling out the products for this video made me realize this year's yearly favorites, I'm gonna do less products. I'm gonna try and really rein it in and be like, what are the things that I have truly been reaching for this year that have been like new releases that I've really been loving? I'm gonna try and reel it in even more. I am gonna take these from the order that I do my makeup, and I'm gonna start with primers. I am gonna work my way all the way through, you know, cheek products, and I have a little bit of eye products and lip products, and then I'm gonna end with a few hair care and skincare, and I'm also gonna talk about fragrances. And it did actually surprise me that I had this many fragrances in my yearly favorites, but there were also a bunch of really great fragrances that I discovered last year. But again, I think I'm gonna reel it in a little bit this year. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's jump in and let's start at the two primers. These are both oil controlling primers. This is the One Size Oil Sucker. This is my favorite oil controlling primer, and I'm pretty low on this one. I have less than half left, and I do have a backup of this one, and I have been using it quite a lot during the summer. I also have the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin, and I will say this year I have really only been using this one for oil control. I've actually really been enjoying a gripping primer this year, and I think maybe I'll talk about that in my yearly favorites, or maybe I won't. But there is a gripping primer that I've been using quite a lot this year, but this one is still a favorite. I still love this one, but I have been using this one over this one. But I do really love oil controlling primers, and I do think both of these are great, but this one is a little bit even more efficient. There were a bunch of really good foundation releases last year, and I did really enjoy quite a few of them. Speaking of more like tints and stuff, there were two that I've really used a lot. This one you can see I've used half of it. This is the Simply Ageless Skin Perfector by Essence by CoverGirl. That's what it's called. I have this one in medium, I think. I think the shade that I'm using is medium. Yes, number 40 in medium. And I've been traveling with this one a lot, but I gotta say, I kind of forgot about this one this year, but because I have been using other things. But I actually am gonna bring this out. I do have a little tray here in front of me where I put like the current things that I'm like using more of. Like a little Shop My Stash, but it's like a little tray, a little Shop My tray. I shop my stash and put it on a tray, and I think I'm gonna switch this one because I really do love this one, and this is one of those things that I kind of wouldn't mind using up. I also have the ABH. This is the stick tint, and I really do love this one too, but I kind of forgot to use this one again, same as these two, and I do prefer this one over this one, but I actually really love this one. And the thing about this one, I thought this was gonna be so oily on my skin, but it looks so fresh and hydrating on my skin, and even though it is oil based, it works really good. It doesn't make my skin more oily, but because it is oil based, my oils do not break it up, so it just looks very healthy and light coverage, and just looks like you just applied skincare on your face. And I gotta be honest, again, picking these two out of my collection, I was like, dang, it's been a while since I used these two, and I really need to use them again. I also did mention two full coverage foundations that I still really love. This is the full coverage foundation by One Size. It is Turn Up the Beat. This is a great oil controlling full coverage foundation, and this is the one from Urban Decay. It's called the Face Bond. Both of these really great foundations. Use both of them. They've been really good to me. So I really think that these are great foundations as well. And I also mentioned two concealers. I mentioned the Refi. This is called I have no idea. I don't know what this one is called, but this is the one that has the doe foot, and I really do enjoy this one. And I also mentioned Yummy Skin by Danessa Myricks. Both of these I really do enjoy, but I gotta be honest with you, I've replaced them. I've used other concealers this year, and I don't think they're bad concealers, but I gotta say, when it comes to concealers, I think I'm gonna be really ruthless with my declutter. Just you wait and see until the declutters come. Dun, dun, dun. Now let's talk about bronzers. And this is where I have to put, like, this is a little caveat. I'm putting a little asterisk and I'm letting you know I made it a mission this year to use up 2 bronzers. So I've actually panned 2 bronzers, and that's the reason why some of these bronzers haven't been getting as much love. I still think though that both of these 2 liquid bronzers are really great quality. I know not everybody loved the liquid bronzer by Makeup by Mario because it is very sheer, but that is the exact reason why I love it. It is sheer, it is gel-like, you can mix it with foundation, you can blend it into your skin. If you're looking for something that's just a sheer, fresh look on the skin, I love this product so much. I also really enjoy the Hot Shot by Morphe. This has a little bit more pigmentation to it. So if you want a liquid bronzer that has pigment to it, this one has more pigment and this is sheer. Both of them are a little bit more gel-like. They don't dry down too quickly, which I think has been the problem with a lot of liquid bronzers. They just dry down too quickly. You get time to work with these and they look really good on the skin. I also talked about, and this one I need to break out. This one is gonna go on the tray next. This is the Too Faced cream bronzer. This one is the one, oh my god, it smells so good. This is the one that smells like orange chocolate, and it is like, it makes me want to just bite into it. It smells so delicious. But again, I haven't been using a lot of these because I've been using up some other bronzers. And this one I actually did travel with this summer because this is a glowy bronzer by RMS Beauty. Wonderful. This is a baked gelée sheer but buildable satiny bronzer that looks absolutely incredible on the skin. And I did travel with this summer because this one looks amazing when you have a little bit of a tan. Still love these bronzers, but they haven't been getting as much love this year because I decide, can you like just let that sink in? My favorite bronzers didn't get as much love this year because I was using up 2 bronzers. 1 year, 2 bronzers. Isn't that crazy? And I love those bronzers. Those were my like favorites from like some past years. But it does make you think. And like, again, I have been working as a beauty YouTuber full-time for over 5 years. And I have been like doing this like, oh, I have a big collection, this is my job, I compare things, but I no longer will do YouTube as like a full-time job come 2026. So I definitely can't be buying makeup as a full-time YouTuber anymore. Like, I need to change my mindset. And this, me using up 2 bronzers in 1 year, I think that is the wake-up call that we all need to remember when we're purchasing makeup. Okay, I have powders as well. So I have 2 powders here. This is the powder foundation by Natasha Denona. This is the High Glam Powder Foundation. I have it in N6. I used this one quite a lot when I was traveling last year, but this year I actually did not, and I was only using concealer and powder instead, which I really did enjoy. I kind of forgot about this one. I kind of want to like use it again. I might still probably keep this in my declutter, and because I did so much enjoy it as like just a light buffer like on my skin when I was traveling, and I kind of forgot about it this year, and I think it's time for me to dig into that one again. I also really love the powder from Tower 28. I got it in Palisades Pink. I really like this one under my eyes. I think it's a beautiful powder under my eyes. It is, if you're looking for a pressed powder and you don't want to buy drugstore powders, because some people don't, I still love the NYX HD. I do really enjoy this one from Sephora. It comes in a bunch of different colors. This year, I have though fallen in love with the Glamlight powder, and you can expect me to talk about that one and maybe one other in my yearly favorites, because the Glamlight powder is chef's kiss. It is so good. Okay, let's talk about blushes. Blushes is one of my absolute favorite steps when it comes to makeup, which is why I had so many that I mentioned. And also last year, if you remember, was the year of blushes. So many people released blushes, including my brand Singe Beauty. These are the evocative silk blushes by Singe Beauty, and I have been using, of course, these like crazy still, because it is like these are the blushes from my brand. I love it orange, and that was this one I'm actually was wearing yesterday, Timid Tomato. It's so beautiful. And then we have a like a corally pink here, the Riveting Rhubarb. I have of course been using a lot of samples this year when it comes to Singe as well, but I still have been using these a lot. I've been traveling with these a lot. I still of course love my own blushes. It makes zero sense why I would not do, like, of course I do. Of course I do. These have a satiny glow to the skin that is glowy but not glittery and not metallic. It's just like, it looks matte, but it has a sheen on the cheeks. They are a buildable formula. They can definitely go very pigmented if you build them up, and I, of course, absolutely love them. I also really enjoy still the Huda Beauty liquid blushes. I have a bunch of different colors and I love this formula. I think it's beautiful. It has a very interesting formula where it has a little bit of a sheen in the formula. It's not sparkly, it's not a metallic formula, but it's enough sheen so even though it dries down on the cheeks and you can touch them, they still look like they're wet. It's a really, really good formulation if you want it to look like you have dewy cheeks, but you don't want to have dewy cheeks. It is the same with the Glaminatrix liquid blushes. I still like these a lot as well. They came out with some poppy colors in this formula as well, which I really, really do enjoy. And I think this formula is really beautiful as well. It lasts really good on the skin, doesn't lift your makeup, looks dewy, but doesn't feel dewy. And it comes in a bunch of different colors. If you want to get a liquid blush from an indie brand, I definitely suggest checking out that one. I also mentioned 2 cream blushes. These were the Makeup by Mario in the poppy colors. Still love these. I've been traveling both with this one and the bright pink. I still think that this is such a fun, because they're so pigmented, you can do a sheer layer. This does not dry down as easily though, but I've been loving this one in the summer when I had a tan. Same with these Juvia's Place ones. This is in Wild Rose, also a really great. Both of these, I'm gonna be honest, pretty similar in formulation, the Makeup by Mario and the Juvia's Place. They are a little bit more dewy, but I use a very sheer layer so they don't feel sticky on the cheeks. But if you use too much, they definitely do both look and feel a little dewy on the cheeks, which isn't my absolute favorite, but since they're so pigmented, I can use a very sheer layer. Okay, highlighters. I have been so in love with highlighters this year of 2025 that I'm even like, oh my god, there are so many highlighters that I've been using that I want to talk about. But last year, I did mention the Fenty Beauty. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. I think mine is a little bit broken if I'm not mistaken. No, this is the one that's not broken. This one is in Prosecco. I have a bunch of shades in this. I think I have 3 shades in this, and I really, really love this formula still. This one got discontinued. For some reason, this was a limited edition formula. It is a great formulation though. If you can still find this somewhere, I highly recommend it. It's really good. I also really love the Danessa Myricks. This is her like balms for the cheeks, but this is the shimmery version. And this is something that I really, really love, which is a highlighter that has a little bit of a base color. So it becomes that like highlighter cheek blush hybrid. I love those kind of formulations. This is the pink one that is called Unbothered. They also have a bunch of other colors. Also, I actually only think they have 4 colors, but the colors are all really good. I think I have 3 of them. A really, really stunning formulation. Really, really still like and love these as well. And then we have the liquid ones. This one I kind of forgot about because I have been using the Colourpop ones instead. And this is the L'Oreal Lumi Liquid Blush. They came up with I think 3 shimmery and 3 non-shimmery. I really like these, but I only like this color. I've swatched all the colors in store and I only like this color. I don't like any of the other colors. And with the Colourpop one, they came up with a similar formula to this, but in more colors. So I have been using the Colourpop ones as well. So if you, I think they're actually even more affordable. So if you're looking for a glowy, shimmery liquid blush from the drugstore that is again that like almost highlighter blush hybrid, definitely check out the Colourpop ones if you can, if you're in a country where they're available. I think they cost less, they come in more colors, and they're fairly similar in the formulation. Still love this one. This is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. I have it in Peachy. Such a good formulation, such a good color. I actually even bought this in a second color at the Sephora sale just now because I think this is a beautiful formulation. I really like these. They're expensive, but if you like luxury makeup, the liquid highlighters, and also, let's be honest, the powder highlighters, I'm probably going to be mentioning that in my yearly favorites. The highlighters from Dior, at least the singles, I've swatched a couple of the newly formulated palettes. I wasn't thoroughly impressed with all the shades. I think there's differences in the different formulations, but this one, the single and the powder single, definitely recommend them if you're into more luxury makeup. Every year I do a palette ranking where I rank all of the palettes that I've tried throughout the year from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. So usually in my yearly favorites, I don't mention a bunch of eyeshadow palettes. The only one I actually just mentioned and said that I wouldn't be ranking was, of course, the Galactic Visitor from my own brand, Cinch Beauty. Of course, again, I still love my own palette. I literally wore it like 2 days ago. I love this color story. I love the formula. This is a formula that is pigmented, but not overly pigmented, but you can build it up, you can blend it out, and it doesn't crease on you, because I have problems with creasing. I am about to turn 42, which is crazy. Who thought I was going to be out here doing YouTube in my 40s? And I need a formula that doesn't crease on me. If you have that problem too, I worked really hard to make sure that these are as crease resistant as possible. So I will, of course, this year be doing a yearly ranking with the palettes as well. If you're interested in knowing which palettes won last year, I do have my rankings up, and there was a really fun palette actually from Fantasy Cosmetica that was #1 last year. I did mention 2 different eye pens last year that I discovered last year that I still use and still enjoy. One of them being the Tarte Fake Awake. They did come out with this in a colorful version this year as well, and I didn't like them as much as I like the beige and the white one. These are still my favorite beige and white ones in my collection. I travel with these every time I go, even if I'm only leaving the house for 1 night away. These will be the ones I bring, because I love these so much. I think they're absolutely amazing. I also really enjoy the colorful ones from Makeup Revolution. This are called the Streamline Eyeliner. They come in a bunch of different colors. These are very creamy. They remind me a bit of the Urban Decay eyeliners, but at a much lower price tag. When it comes to lip liners, I actually did not, if I'm not mistaken, mention any lip liners, and it's probably because I spent almost the entirety of that year using my own samples for Cinch Beauty, trying to perfect what I thought is a really good lip liner. I'm wearing Witty Walnut today, the darker one, and I'm wearing a bit of Ambitious Ash as well. I wanted something that was neutral lip liners that were a little bit different. I wanted them to be a little bit more of that not super smeary, creamy feeling. I wanted them to feel slightly more waxy, so that I actually keep, like today, I'm wearing a gloss on my lips, but I don't want the gloss to travel all over my face. So I didn't mention a lip liner last year because I was using my own samples, and those were the ones that I was gravitating to. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the entire year. That's what I was loving. But lip products, I really love you can see how much I've used this. This is the Clarins lip oil in Cherry. Still love it, still have this one in my purse every now and then. Let me see if I can just bring out, I love these still. The ABH Lip Velvet, don't sleep on these. This is such a good matte lipstick like formula. And I said that I think that it was going to be like the return of the matte lip, and I've been starting to see a couple of matte lips formulations come out, and I really hope we're able to see something similar to this, but maybe in more colors and maybe at a slightly more affordable price. Wouldn't that be great? Naturiums, you can see how much I've used this one. This is the Phyto Glow Lip Balms. This is the orangey one that is called Mango. Still love this one, still love this year, but Naturium actually came out with an SPF version this year, and those I've been loving even more. I actually traveled with those quite a lot. Still love these. These are the Tinted Balms by Bare Minerals. I've been, again, loving these a lot, putting these in my purse. They are such a beautiful, they're a lovely hybrid between a gloss stick and a balm. They're not goopy like some of those like gloss sticks that you know. They still give some color and they still give hydration and look beautiful on the lips, but they're not goopy. And there it goes. I really enjoy them. Still really enjoy these as well. I've used these less this year, though, I'm gonna be honest. These are the satin lipsticks by Makeup Revolution, but I still think this is a beautiful formulation. If you're looking for a satin lipstick, or like a soft matte lipstick, I should say, from the drugstore, definitely check out this line. The ones that have this like soft, powdery peach packaging. This one was in Wifey Dusky Pink. This formulation is great, and I still have a few in my collection. And then we have the Benefit. This is in French Toast. This is their matte lip tint. This one smells so great. It smells like a vanilla fruit candy, and unfortunately they come in very few colors. I bought a second color as well. I haven't been using these a lot this year, and I don't know why, because I actually really love a matte lip tint. Again, I think I need to bring this one out and put it like, I'm putting it here. I'm putting it on my I'm putting it on my Shop My Stash tray because I'm going to be using that one again. Great formulation, looks great on the lips, wears great on the lips. It is sheer, but you can build it, you can blur it. Its longevity is beautiful. Really enjoy it. It's like, again, it dries down, it smells wonderful. I wish it came in more colors, but yeah, I really like that one. The matte one. Not the glowy one. The glowy one I haven't tried, so I can't say anything about it. I'm talking about the matte one that dries down matte, very watery texture. It's wonderful. There is a leaf blower hair outside. I don't know if you can hear him. I hope not. I'm just going to continue. I did mention one hair product, and that was the K18 Air Wash. Still love this one, still use this one. I have this one both in the full size, which is this one, and I have the small one too that I travel with, and I bought backups again in the Sephora sale. I love this one. It comes out wet, like just spray it and it comes out wet in the hair and you're like, what is going on? It dries down in a couple of minutes, you brush through your hair and it looks and feels clean. I don't know what this is, but it's magic. It's a little bit more expensive than I wish it was, but I gotta be honest, this is my favorite dry shampoo ever. And if you have problems with dry shampoo, leaving white residue, not feeling great in your hair, and you want to use dry shampoo, I would say try this one out. It does come in a mini at Sephora, so at least you're not committing to a full size. I only have 2 skincare products to mention, and I still love both of these skincare products. It is the Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Essence Toner, and it is the Torridin Dive-In Serum. This one I use before makeup. If I feel like I need any kind of moisture, I use a couple of drops of this one on my skin before I go in with any kind of like primer. This one sinks in immediately but leaves my skin feeling hydrated, but there is no residue on my skin that will get me oily, because that's the thing. I have a very oily T-zone. And if I use something that's too moisturizing before I put on foundation that doesn't sink in properly, I will just have a lot of problems. But this one is the perfect before makeup serum, and you can see I've used a lot. This one, I'm about halfway through this one. I will say 2025 has been the year of extremely shaky mental health. And the first thing that goes when my mental health is not doing that good is my skincare routine. I don't know about you, but that is how it is for me. So I don't know if I will have any skincare favorites this year. Maybe this one still, because that's the only thing I've been like consistently using. Because yeah, 2025 has not been the year of skincare for me. I've been really trying, and I do them more as like a self-care routine when I feel like it, as a full thing in the evening, together with like, you know, the devices and, you know, the light therapy and all of those things and a mask. But the everyday routine, yeah, that hasn't really been there for me in 2025. Okay, let's talk about fragrances. I still love all of these fragrances. There was a bunch of fragrances last year that I discovered that I absolutely love, and I still love all of these fragrances. I will try and mentioned less last year, so I still have all the fragrances. It is Kayali Maui in a bottle. Still love it. This is a wonderful, it has banana. It is a tropical, wonderful like vacation fragrance that has banana in it. It is absolutely wonderful. I really love it. I've been really enjoying it. I also have the replica from the garden, which is, this is a tomato fragrance that is green tomato stems, not the fruit. This isn't salsa, this is the greens. So this is like a greenhouse, but it also has red berries in it, and it feels like a Swedish garden. I really love it. If you want to try a different kind of fragrance and you want to have something outdoorsy but you don't want to have anything flowery, I definitely recommend it. Also the Old Fashioned by Kilian. This, oh, it smells so good. Oh my god, I haven't used this one in a bit. This smells like Old Fashioned made into a fragrance. This is bitter orange bourbon, but still a little sugary. It's so fantastic. It is, I get compliments when I wear this one. It's very good. I also love the Faces by Francis by Wilhelm Parfumery. This is, oh, this is like resin and pistachios and outdoors. It is pistachios in a forest outdoors. I don't know what to tell you, but there is something so outdoorsy but still pistachio. It's so good. This has been a fragrance. I've used quite a lot of this. Okay, I don't spray myself with a lot of fragrance, and I really tried in 2025 to be like, why am I saving up my fragrances. I have so many. I have so many fragrances. I need to make this my everyday luxury. Something that I like really treat myself. So I try to douse myself a little bit more in fragrance and really enjoy it. And this one I have used quite a lot, but this is a strong one. If I douse myself too much, it becomes too much. But I love this one. I also really love Soda Snob. You can see I've actually used quite a lot of Soda Snob. So this is by Sniff, and this is a very spicy Coca-Cola drink. Not Coca-Cola, but you know, like a cola soft drink. This has the zestiness and the sweetness of a cola drink, and the dry down is very spicy. You know, the nutmeg and the cinnamon and the cola drink. It is a very, very wonderful fragrance, and it's not overly expensive in case you want to try out a fizzy Coke drink, which I love that kind of fragrance, and I have discovered some other products with that kind of profile that I will be talking about in this year's favorites because I have been obsessed. Also this one, this is another one like the Wilhelm one. This is the Marseille Nuit Parisienne. Absolutely obsessed with this fragrance, but you cannot tell because this is a very potent fragrance. I cannot overly spray this one because it will be too much for me. Oh, this smells. One of the most sexy fragrances in my collection. The other one I'm going to mention is also one of my most sexy fragrances in my collection. This is Date Night. This is chai tea wonderfulness. This has a little bit of citrus like in the back, but what it really is a very chai spice tea leaf forward fragrance. It is so sexy. It is a spicy chai tea leaves wonderfulness. It's such a good fragrance. I absolutely love this one. It is one of the best fragrances in my collection still. I mentioned this in my yearly favorites last year, and I still absolutely love it, and I still 100% recommend it. And you can actually use your code with Marseille, my code Angelica, and get some money off, and I love that one. It's one of the most unique and sexy fragrances in my collection. I am obsessed. Last fragrance I'm gonna mention is actually a gift from my husband, and this is Anti-Hero by Curatrix. I think Curatrix is a smaller perfume house, and it is such a good one. I'll try and find it and link it down below. This is smoky. If you don't like smoky fragrances, you will not like this. This is Kilian's Angel Share, but smoky. It also is a little sweeter. It is a sweet, spiced apple bourbon smoky scent. It is definitely very boozy. It has a smokiness. It has like almost like a sweet gourmand scent to it. So it is like gourmand, boozy, but smoky. I'm obsessed with this one. I also have this one in a small travel one. So I've actually traveled a lot with this one because I have it in the travel one. So I can use that one as like my evening fragrance when I'm traveling. Absolutely love this one. It is such a good fragrance. Such a good fragrance. Again, one of the most unique and sexy fragrances in my collection. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And yeah, this year, I will try my very best to just really condense it a little bit. Like, what were my absolute favorites? With that being said, I do have quite a few fragrances that I have been utterly obsessed with this year. I mean, you know there's gonna be figs and fizzy cokes in there because the obsession is real. So let me know what you think about these. Do you remember these being my favorites? Do you feel like you change favorites a lot? I don't think I change favorites a lot. If I like something, I end up liking it. But I will say this year, more than ever, especially when it comes to like the makeup products, there were a couple of things that I've actually replaced kind of quickly. Oh my gosh, the guy with the leaf blower is back, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. But it's gonna be really interesting for me this year to really curate the best of beauty this year and to really hone it in to be a few products. I'm gonna end this video here because this guy, he is about to like walk through the door with this leaf blower. I hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. All the info is gonna be in the description box, and I'll see you soon in a new video. Bye.